Guys, how does a man that has 23 kids sit there and say that it's the second time that he goes to the doctor's appointment with a pregnant lady? How did that happen? How did you have 17 women pregnant 22 times and you've never been to any of the appointments? If I tell you that man gets away with a lot, men get away with a lot. How are you not even having the experience of going to the doctor's appointment with your pregnant baby mama when you have 22 children? I was shocked, okay? I was shocked. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. Do make sure that you are subscribed, because YouTube is telling me most of you are watching the videos without subscribing. And I don't understand, because subscribing is free. Okay, joining the membership you pay, but subscribing is free. Subscribing, liking, sharing is free. So listen, do the right thing. Anyways, you guys, we are still watching Mr. Xaba having a conversation with Undu. And yeah, Undu looks like ukhulile, but when I listen to him, he reminds me of my son. Sometimes when I'm listening to my son and my husband having a conversation, and most of the time they are not understanding each other, it just rings age, like a generation difference, okay? Because for us, the parenting styles that we have, most of us take it from our parents. There are things that we take from our parents. There are things that we're not going to do because, we realize, okay, that didn't work for them, so we're not going to take. But we come from that generation of, I am your parent. When I say this, things go. You just have to trust me that I have your best interest at heart. And when I say do this, you do it, okay? It's not all the time that I have to explain to you why I am saying do the thing, okay? And sometimes you're not going to like the thing, but when I say do the thing, you do the thing. And then the 2000s are more like, why should I do the thing? I'm not saying I'm not going to do the thing, but I want to understand why I'm doing the thing. And then they have this thing that all of them say that, if you want me to respect you, you have to respect me too. And I'm like, it does not work like that. So there's always that generational gap that causes that misunderstanding, and somebody has to move. It's like they have to move to understand that, okay, we are a different generation, so can compromise when you are parenting, to sort of be like, it's not like they mean to be bad children, but the way that they grow up, the things that they watch on TV, in the internet, it makes them feel like they have a right to have their say when something has to do with their life, okay, which is not something that we had at the time. We were told what to do and when to do it. You ask no questions, okay? If you ask questions, you will get a hiding. That's how we grew up. So Undu reminded me of that, because he said, even in the data session, that he does feel like just because you are older, it does not mean that you automatically need to be respected, okay? At the same time, Undu confuses me, because here is this grown-up man. He might be a 2000, I don't know, you guys, I need to check his age. But here is this grown-up man that is having this conversation with his father, where he is saying that he also feels that like he needs to be respected. But at the same time, I'm like, but if you're going to want to be respected, like, live a life that deserves respect. You're grown up now. Why are we still talking about you living at home? Why are we still talking about you being given money by your parents? That is the part that doesn't balance for me when it comes to Undu. But there are moments when, really honestly, between him and Ubab Xaba, I really just wanted Mr. Xaba to just listen more. Okay, you've made it a point. You've made a point to go to me. If you guys don't want to listen to me, okay, we get it. He says, he says that he is the sea. You know how the sea never comes to your house? you always go to, when uhamba beach, when uhamba uyolwandle. That's what he was saying. You should come to me. Okay, I should not have to beg my children. If my children should come to me, if they don't want to, it's okay. The others will come. I have enough children that if one doesn't like me, the others will like me. He has made that point. I get it. And it might not make sense to a lot of people, but that's how a lot of parents parented, especially in our generation of parents, okay? But now I feel like it's an opportunity to just listen to your son a little bit, okay? It's not going to hurt. You've made that point, but I did feel like Mr. Clover just needs to listen just a little bit, okay? Just give him an ear, okay? Hear what he has to say. He might be telling you undu, but just listen a little bit. I think that is going to be the biggest struggle that we are going to be watching with Mr. Clover trying to, I guess shoot this show while rebuilding relationships with his children. He just is not willing to listen. He just wants to tell them what to do and be done with it. And I don't think that it's going to work. That is one thing that is going to cause the biggest conflict between them. He still insists, you guys, that Undu has lived with Mr. Clover and Uswazi, the new wife. He says that even Uswazi was taking care of Undu when Undu had the accident that he had. Even Undu agreed that Uswazi did take care of him. Now, you guys, it did make me feel like, no. What is going on? Because remember, when we were introduced to Undu was having a conversation with T. And was it T? Yeah, I think it was T. And in the conversation, Undu was like, I don't think, they were talking about Swazi. And he said, I don't think it's healthy for me to try and build any kind of relationship with Uswazi because she is the same age as me. Okay, she is the same age group as I. So I don't feel like we should be trying to build any kind of relationship with her. Now, you saying this after you lived with this woman and she was your stepmother, she was taking care of you, she's even giving you money and all of that. You've already built a relationship with Swazi. So it confused me as to why Undu will want us to think that he is not willing to get close to Swazi. They don't have a relationship and he does not want to have a relationship with Swazi. Why does he want us to think that if he's already coming from having a relationship with Swazi, which sounds like it was an okay relationship according to his father and himself, because they took care of each other. They lived in the same house. Swazi took care of Ndu. So when did it become a thing of, now I don't want to have a relationship with Swazi? I did not, you guys, want to have that thing of, just because Swazi is the same age as Babu Klaba's sons, to automatically move to that thing of maybe there was inappropriate relationship or relationships with any of his sons. I did not want to automatically move to that. But I have seen people commenting in the comment section that, this is a very dangerous zone when you take a wife that is the same age as your sons. Now, this whole thing of Ndu wanting us to think that he is not that close to Swazi, but then his father exposing that they actually were very, very close, but obviously as a mom and son, just makes me think, Uguti, there is more to that relationship that we have not been told about or that we have not seen, okay? Why do you want us to think that you are not close to your stepmom when you are very, very close to a point where she took care of you, she has given you money, you even were, the reason you moved out is because you were not getting along with your father. Apparently there was a time where the father says that he made a joke, okay? Mr. Klabuti, he made a joke when he was about to go to church, and Undu says that it wasn't a joke. He had made a comment about Undu smoking something that has to do with the DRUGs, and then he went off, Undu went off. Mr. Klaber said that it almost got physical. That's how much, that's how bad the fight was. Okay, now you guys, here's the picture we have. We have a son that does not want us to know that he is close to the stepmom. We have a father that does not understand why the son has a problem all of a sudden with the stepmom, because at some point they were taking care of each other. Why doesn't he tell the people that they actually did have a good relationship? And then you have a son that fighting with the dad and moving out of the house. Okay, we can't help it. We cannot help it. Okay, if you are an adult, you're going to start thinking, "Kahle, kahle, what's happening here? What are we not hearing about when it comes to this relationship?" I definitely want to hear more about Swazi and Ndu's relationship. Okay, but we are not really going to get it from Mr. Klaba, because I feel like Mr. Klaba, once Undu was trying to make a point that was even making sense, then he will overtalk Undu. That is expected from the type of father that Mr. Kolo is, but I do wish that he was giving Undu a chance to just speak, even if he is going to say something that is just senseless, okay? But give him a chance to say what he wants to say, okay? Ndu's complaint was also the fact that his father likes to discipline them in front of abazalwane. This is the same complaint that we got from Umdeni Somnala, where the sons say the same, that there are things that the father would want to be addressed in front of abazalwane as a parent. It is very, very clear that children want to be privately parented. They want to be parented at home. Why do you need to scream at me in front of abazalwane? Why do you need to correct me in front of abazalwane? Why, as a son, if I need to speak to you, I need to speak to a PA, I need to speak to a secretary? That was the issue with Umdeni Somnala with his sons. That was their complaint, and we are seeing it here as well, where Undu is like, if he needed to, correct me on something, why did it need to be in front of abazalwane? Now, you guys, I do think that the relationship Ndu and Mr. Klaba will give us a lot of content, but I also do feel like we are going to get like repeated scenes of just Mr. Klaba shutting and Ndu down. And it's not only going to be Ndu, I think we are going to be seeing that with the other children as well, because we saw the trailer for the next episode. When they are trying to speak to him, especially if they are making sense, he is shutting the conversation down. And that's not going to be good, because there are a lot of things that we are not going to be able to hear, or they are not going to be able to share with us, because the conversations are not going to go the way that they should when two adults sit down to have a conversation. Hopefully, they will do diaries in a way that even if something is not revealed in the sit down or in the conversation, but we are able to hear more about it in the diary session. It wasn't done well here when Undu was sitting down with his father, because he still left me like something is going on with Ndu and Swazi and his father, but I'm not hearing enough to understand what it is exactly. So we also, you guys, got the pleasure of meeting the other brothers, okay? Because brothers were hanging out. We have Upilani, Utulani, Sanelu, Nduduzo, okay. We had met before. And then the others, I think, we were meeting for the first time. Utulani, Upilani, Sanele, and Nduduzo. And then obviously, Ondu, Velundu, we've met Undu. So it was Pilani, Utulani, no Sanele that we were meeting for the first time. I think Upilani is the last born. And I don't know, you guys, am I the only one that's so Pilani like there's something going on with his legs? Because initially I was asking myself, okay, when they were playing soccer, because the brothers were meeting playing soccer. Listen, I was asking myself why Pilani wasn't playing soccer, because I saw who used to hold that, and I was like, I mean, play soccer with your brothers. But later on, when they were done with the conversation and they were standing up, I sort of felt like something is going on with his legs. Nobody has explained anything. So hopefully in the future, we will find out what's happening with him. Yes, and I think that's the reason he wasn't playing. Something is going on. Yeah, on the side of his leg, it looks like kunomthungo or something like that, like he has had maybe an operation or something. But hopefully in the future, they will give us more information. Obviously, you guys, in season 1, there are probably things that we will see on this show that they maybe didn't think that as the viewers we would like to know more about. Maybe only in season 2, when we start talking about certain things, they will know that we want to know every single thing that is shown on the show. Okay, like we want to know what's going on with Philani's legs. Is he okay? We want to know all of that. But the brothers were just having conversations, and it's conversations that most siblings don't have, honestly, you guys, because I think with most families, siblings always feel like they are not treated the same. It's even worse when your mothers are not the same, but you have the same father, okay? And the father looks like he favors certain kids and not others, and then he takes calls from these kids, and then one kid is talking about how he calls his dad all the time. He picks up the phone, and then one is saying, my dad never picks up my call. It does not matter which number I use. Whenever I call my dad, he does not pick up a phone. So it's that conversation that they were having as brothers. I think it's a sad thing, you guys, for some to not be able to have a good relationship with, their father. But what I realize is that it's almost like with Ubaba Xaba, to have a good relationship with him, you just have to agree with everything that he does, everything that happens around him. If you have one disagreement, that is it. He has said it himself out of his own mouth that if you don't love me, I have other kids that can love me. So how do you deal with having such a father where you feel like you are disposable and you are not as important, because if you don't do this, the others will do? So I don't know how they do it, you guys. So they were just having conversations about how they need to hang out together a little bit more, maybe have Brian, all of that. And obviously, the father was a big conversation with them. There wasn't anything deep that they did talk about, but they did talk about this one brother. I think Ulindelani and Osbam, the other brother that were not there. I was hoping that in this conversation that we get to talk about the brothers that passed away, because they had mentioned that before, but they did not give it the details of what happened. But I think this scene honestly was just a scene for us to meet the other brothers that we hadn't met yet. Maybe they were hoping that the other 2 brothers will show up as well to play soccer with them so that we could meet all of them, but it didn't work out that way. So we just ended up meeting the 3 brothers, Uphilani, Thulani, Nosanele, and then Undunoke we had met already. Now, you guys, the third scene was just Mr. Xaba going to a doctor's appointment with his wife, which was a shock for me that he was acting like a new father that has never ever been to that doctor's room. I was like, listen, we might be having children all by themselves out here, because I was like, I thought it was unbelievable. I understand him saying that he hasn't, not even that I understand, but it would be better if he's saying, it's not all of my kids that I've been there for when their mothers were pregnant. But to say this is the second time, like second, after 23 children, I was like, I don't understand it, okay? And they said that the girl is a girl. I think they have a boy with Swazi. Now they are going to have a girl. And he got a little bit emotional, okay? I guess even after 23, you guys, it's still special to have a baby, okay? So Mr. Clay was getting a little bit emotional. And it was just a cute scene, you guys, of them being at the doctor. Everything is good. Everything is healthy. And obviously, Swazi has given birth because in one diary session, she's not pregnant anymore. So I guess maybe we'll see that as part of the show, her having a baby, because it looks like she's quite close to giving birth. Okay? And then, you guys, this is another interesting scene that we saw, because we saw Mr. Xaba, his sister, and Usihle having a sit down. This one is strange because from the beginning of the show, we got this idea that Sihle is very close to her dad. She's the one that goes to church, so the other siblings think Ugutu Sihle is the favorite. So now, Usihle, remember, they are not getting along with Uswazi, and the reason they don't get along is because of the father. The father asked for the ex's number from Sihle. Sihle sends the number to dad. Swazi sees the number on dad's phone. Swazi gets mad at Sihle instead of getting mad at her man, because that's what we do, okay? Listen, okay, we will get mad at the lady on the side of the road selling the vegetables to your cheating man instead of getting mad at the man, okay? Anything to not get mad at the man that is cheating, okay? So it's the same thing. I'm not saying that what Sihle did was right to send the number to dad. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying she just sent the number. The person that wanted the number is your husband. How are you more mad at Sihle and not mad at your husband? So now, because now there's that conflict, Sihle is complaining that she hasn't even seen the child, and it's not like she had an issue with Swazi. They used to get along. So she wants to fix that relationship. So she was calling her dad and her aunt to fix the relationship. And it didn't work because Mr. Xaba was just over talking her. And I was like, what is going on? She even said with that recession, I will see Mr. Xaba, guys. I will see Mr. Xaba. Because they just needed to sit down and Usihle explains this is how the fight started. It's because of that. And because they have that relationship where they respect their father, but it's almost like at the same time, I'm Saba. It was just hard for Usihle to just say, all of this thing that is going on here is because of you, Baba. It was just hard for him to say that, for her to say that. Because if she says that, then she will be in that corner of all of the bad children that are not behaving the way that they are supposed to behave. Because I feel like that's how Mr. Xaba is. You're not supposed to disagree with him. You're not supposed to challenge him. You're not supposed to ask him questions, okay? Even the aunt, I was feeling like she is scared of Mr. Xaba. She is scared to say, can you just hold on so that I can hear what Sihle is trying to say? Or if she realized that Xaba was wrong, she was not going to tell him what I put wrong in Godolana, So I don't know how they're going to fix it. I could feel Usihle's frustration in that conversation. First, she wasn't given enough chance to talk and say, what is the purpose of the meeting? What does she want to do? How the whole conflict started and what she wants to do. Now she wasn't being given that chance. And Mr. Xaba was gaslighting Sihle, okay? Because he did not want her to explain that the problem here is him. But he does not know that we already know that it's him. Because, of course, they don't know what the other person is shooting and what they've said in the session. They're going to find out as we are finding out. So he probably did not know that Sihle has already told us that he was the one that asked for the girl's number. And apparently there's something about the passports, okay? Guys, I'm trying to find out, what is it about the passports? Does Ubab Xaba run some travel agency or something? Because there's a lot of mentions of passports here. I don't know, you guys. But the lady wanted her passports, okay? And that was it. It was just a business call, I guess, okay? But I don't know why. Why didn't Mr. Xaba just give the passport to Sihle for Sihle to give to the woman? Why did Mr. Xaba want the number? Why did Mr. Xaba want the number? Mr. Xaba, yeah, why don't you right? So that conversation, guys, I don't want to lie. They might as well have not even put that scene in there as part of the episode, because there's nothing new that we learned from that scene, because Usihle was being gaslit by her father, okay? The only thing new was that we got to meet the aunt Lindelani, and that was it, okay? The rest of it, Mr. Xaba was making sure that Sihle does not get to explain what happened with him, the girl, and the number. Because if she does, it was going to reach Uswazi, then it was going to be a problem, okay? So the gaslighting was happening, okay? He was making sure that she does not get to say much, okay? Now, you guys, listen. We are going to be seeing some conflicts between T and her father next week, because I think they are going to be trying to have a conversation with their father. I think Mr. Klaba is just a difficult person to have a conversation with, because he is not willing to listen. He's not willing to listen. He's the kind of parent that says, you are going to only listen to me when I'm saying, and there's nothing that I need to hear from you as a child. And that thing does not work when you have adult children and you are trying to build relationships with those adult children, and you are trying to bring the children together, because that's what she said. He said he wanted to bring them together. That's not going to work because your children are adults. So I don't know, you guys, but we will see what happens next week. That is going to be causing T to have some conflict with her dad, okay? But I think at some point, Mr. Klaba will have to realize that, listen, I have a problem with Do, and then the next it's Sihle, now it's T. Am I the problem? Okay, because you're the common denominator, sir. Okay, first, you brought all of these people here on earth, but all of them have some kind of a misunderstanding with you. Oh, Mr. Clever is that parent that you just have to mingle around him to get along with him. Okay, whatever he does wrong, don't say anything. Do everything that he tells you to do. That's how you get along with the father. But at some point, you just whoop over it, especially when you're in adults. You don't want to live like that. So, yeah, I think at some point he will have to realize that he is the common denominator. All of them have a problem communicating with him, and he is the common denominator. So I don't know if he'll ever see it, okay? But if they do more seasons, he might just be forced to see it, okay? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you like it before Pumegona, and go into the comment section and tell me what you thought about this episode. Nginithanda kakhulu.